Are you looking for the best 4K gaming monitors? In this video we will look at some of the best 4K gaming monitors on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Asus ROG Strix XG32UQ. The Asus ROG Strix XG32UQ, like the rest of the Republic of Gamers lineup, is a no-holds-barred, high-performance gaming powerhouse that crams in a feast of tech, albeit at a premium price point. This 32-inch 4K fast IPS gaming monitor features an overclocked 160Hz refresh rate and 1 millisecond response time. It also offers the latest HDMI 2.1 standard, compatible with the current crop of 4K-capable consoles, and includes support for both NVIDIA's GSANC and AMD's FreeSync Premium Pro. As you'd expect from a high-end 4K gaming monitor, the Asus is a looker, although you wouldn't necessarily know it from the front. The slim bezel with the ROG logo at the bottom of the screen doesn't give much away, but the etched rear with the mirrored ROG logo will have you periodically craning your neck around the back for a quick peek. The stand is reassuringly solid and will tilt and swivel but doesn't allow for rotation. As with the other models here, you'll need a cutting-edge graphics card to power such a high-spec monitor, but with the right hardware in place, visuals are crisp, bright and colors are eye-poppingly vivid. Black levels are good, if not spectacular, but that's an issue common to IPS monitors and the trade-off for super-wide viewing angles and vibrant colors. It lacks USB-C support and is on the pricier end of the spectrum, but there are precious few other gripes to level at this monitor. If you're serious about gaming, the Asus ROG Strix XG32UQ is a fine choice. At number 2. Sony Inzone M9. Sony's Inzone M9 was the company's first 4K gaming monitor and is the sister model to the cheaper M3, which shares some features but lacks the picture-enhancing technology of the M9. Measuring 27 inches across the diagonal, this slim bezel, low-profile panel is reminiscent of Sony's Bravia TV range. When we tested the Inzone M9 we found it to be well equipped, with 3 USB-A connections, 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, a DisplayPort connection, and a USB-C socket, making it easy to connect to laptops and power external devices. The panel produces vibrant, rich colors in both SDR and HDR trim. Accuracy and brightness are up there with the best in class, and the screen features several presets tuned for gamers alongside a cinema mode. There's no noticeable ghosting or motion blur, but should you encounter any, the M9 allows you to increase the response time from standard to fast to alleviate any issues. As we've come to expect from IPS panels, the viewing angle is plenty wide, but blacks occasionally look a touch gray, particularly in low-light conditions. HDMI 2.1 support is included, as is support for both FreeSync and G-Sync. This monitor is part of Sony's Perfect for PS5 lineup, so alongside its PC gaming credentials, PS5 gamers and their Xbox Series X compatriots can make the most of the monitor's gaming credentials. Like the Gigabyte M28U, the Inzone M9 has 2 integrated speakers. Performance, however, is below par, and defaulting to an external speaker system is definitely encouraged. The M9 looks great on first inspection, but take a closer look, and you'll spot a lot of plastic in play. The M9 stand is stylish but lacks adjustability. It's slanted, so lowering the panel moves it toward you, and raising it moves it further away. The monitor is Visa compatible, however, so you can fix that. However, at this price point, you really shouldn't have to. The Sony Inzone M9 is a superb panel that does almost everything right but with a few caveats. It doesn't come with any cables, which is a bit cheap considering the premium price point, and whether or not you'll love it largely depends on whether you can bear its cost and deal with its minor idiosyncrasies. At number 3. LG UltraGear 32GR93UB. LG is a household name, so it's safe to expect a lot from any of its products. This extends to the UltraGear line of gaming monitors, and for the most part, the 32GR93UB delivers with just some minor questions about the contrast rate which sits on the low side at 1000:1. Overall, gaming on the LG UltraGear 32GR93UB is a pleasant experience, and you'll struggle to find quality 4K displays for less than $500, but despite a high RRP, it's often on sale for much less. We were impressed with the complete nature of the LG UltraGear 32GR93UB, which is compatible with consoles, has a super fast GTG response time, a DCI-P3 of 95%, and both AMD FreeSync and NVIDIA G-Sync compatibility. On top of its performance, we also came to love its sleek and simple design. This was especially highlighted when the i/.O was rear-facing and uncovered, meaning there was no guesswork involved when trying to blindly manage your cables. Like most 32-inch monitors, the LG UltraGear 32GR93UB is quite weighty and would be a pain to keep readjusting, making this design choice all the more important. At number 4. Asus ROG Swift PG42UQ. While OLED screens aren't quite ready to challenge the IPS status quo, we're starting to see them entering the market. Despite an eye-watering price tag, the Asus makes a convincing argument for accelerating the jump to OLED from IPS. The Asus outputs 4K with an overclocked 138Hz refresh rate and supports adaptive sync and the HDR10 standard. It's worth noting that OLED has its advantages and disadvantages over IPS. Faster refresh rates and bold, vivid colors are the stock in trade for IPS LCD panels, while OLED tends to offer better contrast and deeper blacks but can also suffer from burn-in if left displaying static images for too long. The 42-inch panel in the Asus is a cracker, and that overclocked refresh rate gives it an edge over other 4K OLEDs, which top out at 120 Hz. In addition, the claimed response time is just 0.1 milliseconds, making motion blur a non-issue. Given that figure, motion processing is super smooth, and the panel delivers superb colors, contrast, and brightness. Connectivity comes in the form of 4 HDMI ports, 2 of which are HDMI 2.1 for compatibility with the PS5 and Xbox Series X. For once, we can talk about a set of internal monitor speakers delivering decent sound. Given the panel size, Asus has been able to give its OLED a punched-up sound system that'll give most TVs a run for their money. The screen's super slim bezel gives it an aesthetic edge over the IPS competition, and the monitor is VESA compatible, so if you prefer something a little more stylish than the sturdy supplied stand, you'll be spoilt for choice. This is an astonishingly good gaming monitor. If you can stomach the gut-wrenching price tag, and that may well drop considerably in the near future, and you have the desk or wall real estate available, then the PG42UQ is a near-faultless option for UHD gaming. At number 5. Samsung Odyssey Neo G7. The mini LED panel is a step up from most IPS screens in terms of contrast, brightness, and the depth of the blacks it renders. Colors are vibrant, and there's no detectable ghosting or screen tearing in even the most demanding games. AMD's FreeSync Premium Pro is catered for, but G-Sync is absent. Connectivity is solid with 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, a DisplayPort 1.4 connection, and 2 standard USB-A ports, but it lacks USB-C. The Neo G7 is the only monitor here to feature built-in Wi-Fi, so it can connect to the internet and run streaming apps without connecting to a PC. It also includes Bluetooth and an Ethernet connection to maximize network speeds. Samsung's Game Bar 2.0 also makes an appearance, allowing you to check monitor speed settings, such as FPS and refresh rate, to ensure you're getting the most out of the display without diving into full-screen menus. It's a modern, stylish monitor, bypassing some gaming devices' RGB lighting and garish styling, but it's also a beast, both in size and weight terms, weighing in at 11.7 kilograms. It's still lighter than Asus's OLED heavyweight champ, however. Sadly, the stand will only tilt forward and backward, there's no swivel or height adjustment. Given its size, a wall mount seems sensible unless you have the necessary desk space on hand, of course. Like the Asus OLED, the Odyssey has built-in speakers, but unlike its nearest rival, performance is humdrum, and you'd be better served looking for an external speaker system to connect it to. The Neo G7 offers excellent value for money, and its visual performance is superb. Mini LED addresses some of the issues of both OLED and IPS. Whether it does enough to shift focus away from the incoming OLED screens is another matter.